everybody. Welcome to PatFacts. Patrick here, Patrick Back Personal Fitness. I just want to take a moment to say thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for making yourself the priority that you deserve to be, and by looking to get better every week. Hey, Andrea, thanks for being here. And thanks, gratitude is what we're going to talk about tonight. It's going to be our theme. As most of you know, here in Canada, Monday was Thanksgiving. And while Thanksgiving has sort of taken a different meaning than it has in years past because of obviously different issues going on, I want to focus a little bit tonight and not to downplay what's been going on and how we should learn more about our history and educate ourselves. But I want to go to the kind of the main core of what Thanksgiving is supposed to be in an ideal situation. What I want to challenge us to do is practice that gratitude and that thanks, that giving of thanks every day, not just once a year, or not just at the holidays, or not just when you're around someone. We want to practice that daily to make it part of our routine, part of our life. Because if we practice gratitude and giving thanks, then we're in a better place mentally. Because it's physiologically impossible to be grumpy and sad and down and express gratitude. If you express gratitude and give thanks and appreciate the things you have, that automatically lifts you up and puts you in a better frame of mind. So if we can practice that daily, even just once a day, that's going to help bring us down out of that kind of high alert zone that we've talked about that a lot of us are stuck in, that kind of fight or flight, where it should be a reflex to keep us safe. But because of everything going on and alerts and technologies and stressors and things we're trying to do, a lot of us stay in that zone more than we should. And it's not made to work that way. It has effects on the body being in that zone too long. So even just taking a few moments to practice that gratitude every day can at least bring you out of that high alert zone. I've heard of it called as a ladder as well. Bring you down a few rungs in the ladder to sort of that optimal level where we can perform well and focus and concentrate and think of things. Maybe be proactive, not so reactive. And ideally, if we can, we practice it multiple times a day. So that again, it helps fluctuate that zone for us. And hopefully with our fitness regime and our nutrition and our sleep patterns and our practicing of gratitude, again, these all things can all go together to hopefully bring us down out of that zone frequently. So that again, it can be used the way it's meant to be, in it when we need to be, and then draw back from it when we don't need to be in that kind of high level red zone that, again, a lot of us spend a lot of time in. So that's sort of my challenge for you guys and for us, is to try to think of ways to incorporate it into your daily routine. Now, there are tools out there like the 5-minute journal. The 5-minute journal is just what it says. It's meant to be kind of a quick 5-minute journal as a way to start and or end your day. And that book prompts you each day. What am I grateful for? What are some things I accomplished? It gives you things. So you don't have to think and journal about what happened today, what went on, what do I write about. It prompts you. It kind of gets you moving in that direction. So you can put pen to paper and not have it feel like so much of a tedious chore. So that's a tool that a lot of I've just suggested to a lot of my clients, and they've had success with. And again, it doesn't have to be complicated. We're becoming a lot about keeping things simple here. The KISS principle, it fits in with what we do. And this should be no different than that. We want to keep it simple so we have success, it doesn't feel tedious, and we're more likely to stay consistent because it's easy to do. It's very user-friendly. So something like the 5-minute journal is a great tool. Just taking pen to paper, taking 5 minutes and thinking, what am I grateful for today? Those of you here who have done my classes know at the end of a yoga class or unwind or a stretch it out Sunday, I'd usually get you to think of the 3 things you're most grateful for at that moment. And that's as simple as it really needs to be, especially to start. 3 things I'm most grateful for are 1, 2, 3, and then there's some practice. And then I can try to get you, after some time, to now, you thought of those things, now try to express that gratitude toward them. Kind of almost center that positivity pandemic in terms of gratitude and thankfulness to the people or things or experiences even that you're grateful for. Social media has its downfalls for sure, but some of the good things I like, one of them is the memories that post up. on Facebook, and Instagram's catching up a little bit, starting to do that a little bit more. But Facebook posts memories of things you've done, things you've posted years ago. So my workouts come up sometimes. My PatFacts from last year and the year before pop up sometimes. And just different events I've been to, different moments in time. Most of you here know my birthday was on the 11th, and I got some posts on Facebook that contain memories. One of my good friends got married. I was in his wedding party, and the person the bride's party, who I was kind of paired up with, the maid of honor that I was paired up with, or the bridesmaid, I guess, that I was sort of paired up with, she sent me happy birthday, and her memories came up of us at the wedding. So she sent the picture. So it was nice to reflect on that. A friend of mine posted from when we were at Wonderland and on a ride, one of our first trips to Ontario from out east, and he posted that. So it's fun to see those memories and reflect back. So I try to remind people and myself as well, don't just think of it as people. Those are definitely things we want to show gratitude towards people in our lives, but think of moments, think of places, think of a great trip you went on, or vacation, or maybe a sport event when you were younger, or a contest you entered and had good success in, or a class trip. Anything really that gives you in that state of mind and that gratitude, and then think of it and then try to express that gratitude. Is it kind of the next step I like to incorporate and take. So thinking of the gratitude as our start, but then can we express that gratitude? Can we show it? Or let's even take it a step back and think about why we feel gratitude toward that. So think of the 3 things you're most grateful for in the moment, and then take a moment to think about, why did they come up? What made me think of those things or people, places? What made me think of that right now and want to express gratitude toward that? Because if you think about it and try to put some understanding behind what you're grateful for, then maybe you can know what to spend more time doing, because it relates to you being grateful, and also spend less time around the things that don't fill your bucket or make you feel grateful. And then again, we can put ourselves in better positions for success, because we know where we need to be. We know who we need to be around. We know what types of things maybe we need to be doing, what kind of experiences we need to be having. And then we can try to plan and create our systems to work around those as well, to help us have more of that in our life. And then as you're understanding, why was I grateful for those things? Now can you, again, take that internal gratitude and let's express it outward. Let's add that ripple to the positivity pandemic. So I'm grateful for my Uncle Fred, because he always helps me with my algebra. I don't know, hypothetical situation. Okay, why did that come up? Well, I'm very stressed when I do algebra. I'm not so great at it, but he's always calm, and it gives me a different way to look at things and helps me through. It makes me feel a little more confident in what I'm doing. Okay, so that's why. So that kind of a partnership, a team, maybe a leader, mentor kind of figure is maybe what I need to be around, or just someone to bounce ideas off of, someone that's even keeled in certain situations. Maybe that's who I need to be around. And now that I've thought of the gratitude, hey, Bonnie, welcome. And I've thought of why I feel that gratitude. Now I'm going to try to express it. So I'm going to call Uncle Fred and say, hey, how are you? Just wanted to call and say, I was thinking of you. Remember we used to do all that algebra together? Thanks so much for your help. It was a big help to me. It helped me get through it. It helped me learn about it and a little bit about myself as well. So I just wanted to reach out and thank you for that. And if it's someone maybe you can't reach out to because maybe they're not with us anymore, or maybe you just don't know them anymore, you're not in contact with them anymore, I should say, then maybe you could just think about them and express it that way. Maybe you could write a letter. And if it's uncomfortable, maybe you don't even send the letter if you're not comfortable to express that gratitude to them. But I think we need to transition more into getting the gratitude built up within us, but then sharing that gratitude with others. We talk about kindness here and being patient and courteous to people who we're interacting with. And I think that gratitude can go a long way with that as well. And a lot of times you hear, practice gratitude, practice gratitude. And for me, that's that next step. Let's express the gratitude where we can. Whether it's, again, to an actual person, or if it, again, maybe there's a vacation you really enjoyed or a place you went to that really meant a lot to you. then try to just express gratitude for that. Thank you for that time at the beach that day when no one was around, the sun was coming up, and I could just sit. It was quiet. That was so great. Even if there's no one to get that gratitude to kind of receive it, again, we're practicing expressing it. We're building that muscle of expressing gratitude. So that, again, when we want to share it with someone, or maybe should share it with someone, it's easier for us because we've practiced it. We've built up that skill, just like a bicep curl or a squat. We build the skill so we can perform it efficiently. And gratitude and kindness and flexibility, adaptability, they're all muscles. They're all skills that we have to practice and get efficient at. And there's going to be bumps in the road and times when it doesn't go like you want it to, and that's okay. You just have to try to get back on the horse and pick things up the next day and get working forward. So try to think of ways that would work for you to get into that sort of gratitude practice. Again, I mentioned the 5-minute journal. I have the high performance planner, and that's like a planner and agenda kind of all in one. And they have a section where you do sort of a daily debrief and things you're excited about, and then things you're grateful for of what happened and what you could do. So again, it gives you some cues of what to write about. So if you're stuck on what to write, or maybe the consistency of it, then those could help as well. And what I like about the performance planner and the 5-minute journal, I haven't used the 5-minute journal, but again, I've heard about it and learned about it and referred it to clients. And in looking through it, again, what I like about them is it's not a dated calendar. You don't open the page and it says January 1st. It just has a blank. So you can write it in. Oh, it's the 13th of October. Here's my first day. And then I answer the prompts. What are the 3 things I'm most grateful for? Maybe what's something I could do? What's a success I had today? What's a lesson I learned? What's something I could do tomorrow to have a successful day? They all have little different prompts like that in them. And then if you miss a day, it's okay. You just go back to that next page and write in that date. Sometimes when we get these dated agendas and journals and things, you start looking at all the pages you missed because you can't use that date. And then it kind of gives you that lack of finishing a task. You don't have that success factor, that sense of accomplishment. And then it's probably just a matter of time until you maybe stop using that tool. Whereas this, it's okay if you miss a day or two. Okay, tomorrow I'm getting back into it. I'm going to start. Or maybe tonight I'm going to get back into it. Maybe I've done mornings, but now let's get into some nighttime just to get myself going. And you can do the same. There's lots of apps as well that offer that. I had one before. It's similar to the 5-minute journal. It was a prompt, like a gratitude. I think it was called gratitude. And it would just prompt you at whatever time. You could set the time, and it would say, okay, it's this time. You should be thinking of things to write in your journal for now, or in half an hour, you're gonna write your 3 things you're most grateful for. It would kind of, again, prompt you and give you ideas. You could fill in some information and say what you wanted to do. Or maybe just, again, pen and paper or notes on your phone, whatever. My phone's there, so I'm pointing. Whatever is going to work for you and kind of give you the most success, whatever you like to use. Maybe it's just a paper every night and the date, and again, 3 things I'm most grateful for right now. Maybe that's where you start, and that's great. And if they're the same thing every day or every couple days, or 2 are the same, one's different, that's okay. It's in the moment. What am I grateful for right now? And then over time, again, what we'd like you to do is think of, why am I grateful for these? Why did these 3 things come up? And then the next step would be to find a way to express that gratitude. So we want to build it up inside of us, but then share it with those around us, right? That's our positivity pandemic, is sharing that energy outward, being that light. And kindness is part of that. We've talked about kindness, but gratitude and giving thanks is part of that as well. We want to share those out. So again, thinking of ways that work for you. I would suggest probably either an app on your phone or some kind of journal or notebook that you might be able to get your hands on. Sometimes we try to use pieces of paper and write things down, but then they kind of get scattered. And again, we want to be able to come back to this sometimes, just like our workout journal or our nutrition log or our daily journal. And sometimes you can get these things combined where it'll be a wellness journal. So you can track your workouts, you can track your food for the day, and you can track your gratitude. I believe MyFitnessPal has points in there where you can enter into your journal. What are you grateful for today? I've seen paper workout journals or fitness journals like that. What am I grateful for today to start the day? Then that gets you in that positive mindset. What did I do for my workout today? You write it down. How's my nutrition? Let's track my food intake for the day. How's my sleep going? I slept this long last night and I felt good, a good quality of sleep. So then again, when we maybe have those hiccups or those bumps in the road, or maybe we're just not feeling like we usually do energy wise, maybe we go back through the journal or back through the app and look and see, oh yeah, I remember back in October, just after Thanksgiving, I had that great experience at the pumpkin farm with some friends that I hadn't seen in months because of the pandemic. That was so good. You know what? Maybe that's what I need. I need to call those friends and get together again and have some time together. So it gives you those times to see what's going on, see again what's working, and maybe not what isn't working, and help you get through some of those sticking points. Hey, Ramundo, welcome. Good to see you. Let's just check our comments here, guys. Love seeing all these comments. Andrea, after her and Bonnie said hello, their greetings says, great idea. I love sending someone a thanks from something long ago. Yeah, it clearly means something to you and hopefully to them. Exactly. And by you thinking of and expressing that gratitude internally, like Andrea said, you feel good because it meant something to you. And maybe it sparks that memory for them. My friend's post with the Wonderland, it brought back that day and that memory. We were up here for our mutual friend, our good friend. 3 of us became great friends, and he was getting married, and we were in his wedding party, and we came up for a few days to spend some time with him and have some time together before the wedding. And we went to Wonderland, the 3 of us, and hung out and had a great time. So it brought back those memories and those good times. And again, I'm sure he felt the same way seeing that picture and seeing the memory and sending it on to me. So you could spark that, and then maybe they feel a bit of gratitude or at least some positive energy, and maybe a break from all the heaviness and negativity that's out there. So definitely, Andrew, great point. We've talked before about filling our buckets and making sure that our energy is good and filling other people's buckets with good energy. And this is a great way to do that. Andrew also says, I'm usually stuck in my gratitude journal and tend to write the same things always, which ends up not being as meaningful to me. That's just kind of where you are. Again, maybe looking for one with some different prompts. Maybe not a gratitude journal, maybe a daily journal or that 5-minute journal, or maybe you can find a wellness journal or a fitness journal where it's incorporated some of those things that give you some different prompts, and maybe some of the other things you're keeping track of will express more gratitude. I know you've as you go through maybe some of your gluten-free experiences that you're going through in your recipes and sharing that with your boys, maybe as you're maybe writing some of your new foods down in your nutrition journal, maybe that would spark something else for the gratitude journal. And try not to get too hung up on what it is. It's kind of the act of experiencing it. And if it's the same thing all the time, that's great. And again, you will just get to different situations. I know a couple who have done the virtual workouts with me kind of said the same thing. It's usually the same 3 things. That's okay. That's just what you're grateful for. Maybe over time, as we get more consistent, the next challenge might be for you to think, what else can I be grateful for? Yeah, I know these 3 things. I know my family. I know my health. I know my job. I know those 3 things. They always come up. I'm grateful for those. Maybe dive a little deeper. What else am I grateful for? Or what things come from those 3 main things I'm grateful for? So I'm grateful for my health. What comes from that? Well, better quality time with my family, better independence and ability to do things around the house, ability to walk to the mailbox and back and not have to stop and catch my breath, or just to be able to get outside, different things like that. Maybe just try to dig a little deeper. So maybe a 5-minute becomes maybe it's a 10-minute because you actually give it some thought and thinking. And again, maybe look at your resource. If it seems repetitive and it's not, again, kind of sparking you to dive a little deeper, then maybe you need something else with a different prompt for you. Maybe you need to look up some different quotes or questions. I'm sure if you look up gratitude questions or things, different stuff would come up. One of the things, it's a little different than gratitude, but it's a different perspective in the high performance planner, which is from Bernard Burchard. One of the things kind of listed is, if I were my coach, what would I tell myself about today? So what things would I do? So maybe when you get into that mindset, think of it externally, maybe, And if you were telling yourself what you were grateful for, what would you say? Maybe get a little deeper and think, oh yeah, that nice person that let me cut in line at the grocery store. And I'm grateful for that. I don't know them, but I'm grateful they let me do that because that gave me a couple extra minutes to finish some other things I had to do, or to get back outside and not be inside so much. So maybe try to step away and step back and look at it from an external perspective. If you find you're always stuck and it's the same thing and it doesn't feel like it means as much, the practice of gratitude, it still counts. But again, the next step maybe is either thinking of why the gratitude is there, like we talked about, because maybe you're just going through the motions. Maybe think about, do I really feel gratitude towards this, or am I just saying it because I'm supposed to? And then what really brings that gratitude out? Or try to dig a little deeper and think of some other, maybe just make your list 5 instead of 3 things. Okay, I know these 3 things are always there. They're my top 3. Okay, what else? Maybe let's go 4 or 5. Can I find a couple other things? And then again, that strengthens the muscle. Just like doing your weights, maybe start with 3 pounds, then we do some more, maybe do 8 reps, then 10, then maybe we do 5 pounds, then 8 pounds, 12 reps. We keep making things more challenging so we can keep progressing, keep ascending. Same thing with something like this. You'll get to a point where it becomes easy, you plateau. Okay, what's the next challenge? Why do I feel grateful for these things? Or let's expand the list to a few more things. Get us going. Bonnie says grateful for life. So true, Bonnie. Always the top of the list. And even again, looking at what timing works for you, morning, night, midday, but something like that could be, again, very, not to downplay it, but it's a very simple, straightforward answer. And if you can practice being grateful for life every day, again, that's a step in the right direction. You get up in the morning, you're grateful for life. You're already in that good mindset. Instead of something it happens to come up or something unexpected happens, then you're a bit better mindset to deal with it. You're not here at that top level red zone. Maybe you're down here. So you've got that room to handle that, again, that unexpectedness that comes up. Our body can reflex the way it's supposed to put us in that zone to prepare to help handle whatever situations that they are. So maybe something simple like this, something straightforward. Maybe in your morning, I'm grateful for life. I'm grateful for health. I'm grateful for my job. Maybe a couple things that you just kind of think of. Again, to practice that drill and that muscle. And then maybe in the evening, then maybe that's where you get a little deeper into things and think more and try to think of something different. So then you get that 2 times a day gratitude practice. And then again, we build that muscle more and more efficient. We can start the day in that gratitude so we have a better day productively and emotionally and spiritually. And then at the end of the day, we can get back into that mindset. Hopefully we stay there. But if we're out of it or a little tired or just stressed from the day, again, that's a nice way to start our nighttime routine with a little bit of gratitude practice to help things unwind and come down and start that recharge process so we can relax, get that good night's sleep so the body and mind can regenerate and repair. So again, all these things interact with each other so well. And again, it doesn't have to be very complex. Awesome stuff, guys. Andrea says, good idea, but wondering why these ideas popped into our heads, but what are we grateful for? Thank you. Yeah, I think it was kind of sort of a next step that I realized in teaching Unwind. It's in yoga for the city. I would do this as part of the end, and I would say the 3 things. And again, it just kind of felt like maybe it was a bit repetitive, and I was worried that the participants maybe were just thinking of the same thing. So to kind of take them to the next level and to be more of that coach, that was my next step. Hey, well, thanks for hopping on. That was my next step. Okay, you're thinking of 3 things you're really grateful for, but why? Why did those things come up? And then now that lets us know if we're grateful for things and they make us feel good, we can try to gravitate towards those things. And again, the things that maybe don't make us feel that way, we don't have gratitude for because they make us feel not great, then maybe let's try to stay away from those. So again, we feel better. We get more out of our day. Andrea says, my friend made her own gratitude journal. Awesome. That you can buy on Amazon. Oh, it's called A Doodle a Day. I think I've heard of that. Yeah, you can journal, write your things that you're grateful for, and enjoy coloring images or mandalas. Awesome. That sounds great. Yeah. So you, again, something different there. You can draw a little bit, you can doodle, have a little bit of fun. I know on the weekend, again, being home on Thanksgiving Monday, my daughter was doing crafts and arts, and I didn't feel like really drawing things. She was doing a lot of drawing and some notepads and stuff. But I thought, you know what, I want to color. So I found out one of her coloring books and colored a picture. And I just wanted to sit with her and hang out. I was grateful for the time we had together because school and work and things are kind of back. So the schedule's a little different than it was a few months ago. But again, I kind of made it work for me with what she was doing as well. And I was grateful for that time. Again, pretty simple things and something that worked. I was grateful for that time, and I kind of expressed it as a color. It was just an outlet, something to do that we could do together. And again, so a doodle a day, you can check that out. And again, it has different things to it. So maybe you draw a picture that shows your day. So maybe that's more for you. Maybe you're not about writing out how your day went and what went on, but maybe a quick picture or a doodle, and it's your book. It doesn't matter what it looks like, if it's stick figures, whatever it is, you can draw it, have fun with it, color it, and make it your own. And then again, when you work through, go back and look through the book, yeah, those pictures, those memories, maybe you print out a picture you've taken on your phone and stick it in there to have that memory as well pop up and remind you of the times. That's what photo albums used to be, right? We'd flip through a photo album and remember our family camping trip, or at that time we went to the amusement park, or whatever the case is. Now it's on our phones. We see it a lot, but we take so many pictures because it's all right there that we don't always go through them as much as we used to. Or they get kind of jumbled around, or we think we want to organize them a certain way, and then it just turns into thousands of pictures that you maybe don't get to see as much. So maybe that's something you can do. Maybe your gratitude is just taking a few moments and look through some pictures on your phone. I know with my iPhone, every once in a while it'll create a bit of a slideshow. So maybe go through those and look. There's a slideshow from a trip we took to the East Coast, coincidentally, and met my family in New Brunswick for a weekend. And those pictures pop up in Christmas time or a certain date range. It'll show you the pictures and you can see it. And again, just reminisce a little bit. And those feelings of gratitude, those memories of those good times come back up and you feel good. And again, if nothing else, it shuts off the outside world for just a few moments to let the body, the mind come down just a little bit. Raimundo, congratulations, 1 year on Twitch. Congratulations. Good success for you. Glad to get through that year. Yeah, you're welcome, Andrea. She just likes the idea of her gluten-free journey into her journal. And yeah, you're making such big progress and big steps with that, and learning new things and new recipes, and the family's involved with it. That's a great way to share. And again, maybe in writing about some of those things, that'll bring out some gratitude ideas or different things for you to include in there, and to, again, maybe spark some different things for you to write about. And again, that's a process, just like someone's going through a body transformation or workouts, or trying to eat better, or you're eating better, or learning a language. There's different steps along the way that we do. So we keep track of that. We can look back on it and reflect on it, and have that gratitude come to us for a job well done. And again, it gives us those moments to look and see what was working, what wasn't working. When did I get stuck on my gratitude? When did it start just becoming the same thing, that habit? Okay, now that it was here. So now what do I need to do to take it to that next level? Andrew's going to get corny here. Grateful for you and your time. Thank you, Andrew. I really appreciate that. So busy with my new job, juggling the kids' schedules, etc. And I haven't worked out in so long. I missed your classes and motivation. Thank you, Andrea. That means a lot. I really appreciate that. And I'm grateful for you and the support you've shown me by being here when you can, and doing the workouts when we were able to do them. Those are coming soon. Again, new platform, again, on demand. So we can really work with your schedule when you need it to. More details on that. But I do appreciate you, the kind words, and your support. I'm grateful for all of you that join me each week. So I appreciate that, Andrea. It makes me feel great. Thank you for expressing that gratitude out for you. You're right, Andrew. Coloring isn't just for kids, for sure. I find it relaxing. And yeah, she did enjoy me coloring with her. I made sure I let her pick the picture so I didn't mess up her coloring book too much. And I find, for me, I know there are adult coloring books. Those don't interest me. I want to color in a kid's coloring book with the big pictures and the cartoon characters. Sometimes I look for coloring sheets of cartoons I watched when I was a kid. The adult coloring books, I know they're beneficial and therapeutic and have their benefits to them, but they're not for me. I want a cartoon character to color, a Bugs Bunny or He-Man or something. Or I colored Blue's Clues the other day because I found one of her coloring books on that. So that's more, again, that's for me. Don't feel you have to fit into a certain way. Adult coloring books, well, that's it's a coloring book. It's perspective. It's what you want to do and what's going to make you happy and enjoy you. Sonia Anderson, there it is Doodle a Day. So you want to look that up again on Amazon. A Doodle a Day by Sonia Anderson is the book that Andrea spoke of. I mentioned the 5-minute journal. I know I've seen them in Indigo Chapters bookstores. They're online. The High Performance Planner gets a little more in depth as far as planning your goals, and it's kind of an all-encompassing book as far as goal planning, setting your agenda for the day, expressing your gratitude, your mindset. Where do you need to go? What things need to work on? It's really an action planner with a journal kind of in. It's like an agenda and a journal and a planner kind of all built into one. So again, there's lots of different resources out there to take a look for and see. Hey, DJ Theory, music makes me happy for sure. Yeah, music's so good. Makes everybody happy. Gives us good moods. It's good for any mood. Sometimes that's good too, to just sit with some music on, and maybe those music lyrics or the beats will bring out that gratitude feeling for you. Maybe that'll trigger a memory of a concert or a show or a road trip that you had a good time on, and that'll bring back that memory. Then maybe that will say, you know what, I had a great time with my pal on that road trip. I haven't talked to them in a while. I should reach out. I should say, hey, remember that time we took that road trip? How much fun it was. Hey, remember that time we went to that concert? Hey, we haven't talked in a while. I just wanted to say hi. I was thinking of you. Let's catch up soon. And then again, we express that gratitude toward them. And even maybe it's not direct gratitude toward them, but maybe just, hey, remember that time? And then that triggers that good feeling, that good emotion in them. And music, yeah, so good for our moods. It can be a motivator. It can be something to calm us or relax us. It can make us smile. It can make us cry. It can pump us up. There's so many different types of music out there. You can find what works best for you to suit your mood, or to maybe help you get into a mood or from one to another. And I've started to hear a bit about the different types of music can kind of influence either the mood you're in, or the mood you're in will influence the music you pick. And so as I learn a bit more about that, we'll share a bit about that down the road. But I've heard initial stages of that. I just kind of think, oh, I want to listen to this, and I put it on. But I've been sort of coached in that ladder we talked about, that fight or flight response, and kind of what zone you're in can kind of influence maybe what music you pick, and that might keep you into that zone as well. Awesome. Bonnie says, funny, I bought a kid's coloring book with crayons last month. Brought back memories. Stress reliever for sure. And again, it's one of those things that it's a distraction. It takes your mind off things, typically because you're focused on the coloring. When you're coloring, what do you need to do? Stay within the lines. So as you're focused on staying within the lines, and what color do I want to paint this, and or color this, and what shade, and I want to make sure that these don't maybe cross over because it mixes the color, then it won't look right. You're thinking of those things. You're focused, and we've talked about focus here a lot. You're focused on that task and that coloring. That shuts things off for a little while, and that reduces that stress. You don't think about the news. You don't think about social issues or pandemics, or what Sally said to you at a work function. You tune that noise out. And again, that's how we try to approach our workouts here, is we tune out the outside world because we focus internally on our movements, on our muscle activation. So again, if nothing else, we shut off distractions and we de-stress. And that's a great example of that, Bonnie. Great. It's so funny in a sense that you did that just as we're talking about it. You thought of that as well. So I sometimes will look up coloring sheets online and of a character that I used to like or something, and print one off and color as my daughter's doing some crafts or sitting, or I'll just do a little craft that way and color and doodle. Sometimes doodling, people will just doodle on paper like that. Doodle a day. I'm sure there's a spot there just to scribble and doodle. And again, for some people, it's just that you're using your body, you're using your mind differently, you're focused on different movements and shapes. Again, it kind of distracts you a little bit and shuts things off, which is, again, what we need sometimes. We need to shut off the outside world, even just for a few moments. We don't want to ignore what's going on, but we don't want to get so caught up in it that we feel heavy and negative from it. We want to be able to express ourselves the way we want to. And so I think, again, not trying to limit our giving of thanks or gratitude to just one day a year, or even just the holidays or certain times. my challenge for you is to really think of ways to do it more frequently. So maybe if daily seems too daunting right now, maybe 3 times a week, maybe twice a week, once a day here and there. But plan it, put it in your schedule, put it in your agenda, and then try to practice it. And again, don't stress out about how in-depth it is or how, if it's repetitive at first, that's okay. But over time, try to challenge yourself to get better with it. Okay, maybe you add, instead of 3 things, it's 5, or take that next step we talked about, which was thinking of why those thoughts of gratitude came to you. Why did you feel gratitude for this? What made that kind of pop up and come in your brain? That's kind of that next step of getting a little deeper into it and making it more of an experience that, again, we can tie to other facets of our life. And then again, practicing that, getting good at that. There's no rush on this. We want to make sure we're efficient with this. Again, just like a workout, we don't skip from body weight to weights to plates to ballistic movements. We take our time, we progress as we're ready. And this would be the same thing as you feel ready to challenge yourself, to push yourself a little further, to ascend to the end, like we like to say here. Then you add that next step. And then maybe that's expressing that gratitude. Heck, maybe expressing the gratitude is your first improvement. Maybe that's easier for you to take on than thinking of the gratitude. Well, you know what? I just know that I'm grateful for Bill. So why can't I just tell Bill? Go ahead, reach out and tell Bill that you're grateful for him. But then down the road, the next step would be, okay, now why did Bill come to mind? Why did I feel that gratitude? Why does he come up every so often? And then again, that can help us align ourselves with the people and experiences and things that we need to be to have that success that we deserve. So I'd love to hear from you in the comments, in the chat. Again, as we go along these, feel free to comment either on last week's video or bring last week's topic to this video and let us know how you're doing as we progress through, because I would like to hear from you. And if you don't want to share it publicly on the chat, send me a DM. Send me a whisper, whatever. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know how you've started to track your gratitude. Let me know how you're thinking of gratitude. Has that made a difference in what you pick? Has that helped you get deeper in your gratitude practice? And then that expressing of gratitude. How do you feel expressing gratitude to someone or something? And has it come back to you because of that? Which chances are it probably will. Yeah, I remember that road trip we took. That was so much fun. Remember you did this for me, and that was just a big help. I'm sure there's gratitudes coming back and forth, and that's that positive energy. So now you're not only emitting it out, but you're receiving it as well. Now we're charging each other up. We're spreading that positivity pandemic back and forth. Now it's that ripple, positive. It's harder for negative stuff to get in there and get at us. So it won't have the effect on us because we have that good, almost like a force field of positive energy, of gratitude, of kindness. We can build on those skills as well. So again, I'd love to hear from you in the chat, what your plans are, and keep in touch. Let me know how things are going. You can either come back to these videos, comment. I get notifications when you comment on them. Or again, next week, jump in, let us know how things are going. When you pop on, do a quick note, and we can have a little time to reflect as well. Or if I see something in the back comments, I can bring it to a future episode and do a follow-up or do a little bit of a kind of wrap-up of how things are going. And again, share with each other. I know you've all created connections with each other, either through this community or other communities that have brought you to this community. Use those. Bounce ideas off each other. Express gratitude towards each other. Share what you're doing with each other. Your ideas could help someone maybe improve their idea or get started or get over that little stumbling block that they have. So I just want to say thank you for being here. I'm so grateful, again, that you spend almost an hour a week with me, getting better and making yourself a priority and trying to make the world a better place through making you a better person. And again, it's going to take time and take patience, and all these things add up to go with your workouts that we like to focus on here, and they go with all the other components. Again, everything's intertwined and it all works well together. If something's a little off, it's going to affect everything else. But if we can improve something, it's going to impact all those other areas of our life positively as well. And that's what we want to try to do. Yeah, Andrea says thank you. Everyone have a great evening. Thanks, Andrea, and you're welcome. Thanks for being here. I'm glad I could share some ideas, and hopefully, you're welcome, Bonnie. Hopefully, it sparks something for you to maybe again take things to the next level, or at least get on track. So, what I'm going to do is I was going to leave it out there and open. What I'd like you to do is the 13th. I'd like you to try your best from the 13th of October to the 13th of November. Try daily gratitude for 1 month. As many days, we try daily, at least once a day for 1 month. And whatever the Wednesday is closest to the 13th, we'll do a little follow up here and a check in. So 30 days starting tonight. Before you go to bed, some of you mentioned it already in the chat. Before you go to bed, take a few minutes, jot down what you're grateful for. Take the practice where you want to take it and try it daily for a month. Just do your best. In a notebook, in the notes on your phone, whatever works for you. And around the 13th of November, and whatever kind of Wednesday we can fall on, the Wednesday after that, we'll say, after the 13th, we'll touch base and see how we're doing. Sound good? Awesome. I can't hear you say no, so too bad. You're all signed up. Good luck. But no, I think it's a good chance. I'll do it too, and we'll do a wrap up and a follow up around the 13th of November. So 30 days starting tonight. Let's do this. Let's put some of these tips into practice, into action. I said last week, action was my theme for 2022, but we're starting now. So let's all do this together. 30-day unofficial gratitude and thanks of giving of thanks challenge. That's right, Bonnie. Bonnie says that's easier than the chips, giving up chips. You're right. See, you're looking at the bright side already. So let's do that. 30 days from now, we'll kind of meet up and wrap up and see how things are going. So reach out if you need any help. Or have any questions, and we can try to help you out and get you going as best we can. And that's it for tonight, guys. Again, thank you so much for being here and for joining me every week. I really appreciate you. Stay safe. Remember, keep that self-care going. We're not out of the woods yet, and we want to make sure that we're strong and ready for anything else that life may throw our way. So have a great night, everybody. Stay safe. Remember, always make yourself the priority that you deserve to be by striving to be operationally fit. Have a great night, gang.